guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about my Husqvarna Te 125. What I like about it, what I don't like about it, and just give an idea of what this bike is about and what it's like to own this bike. Before I talk about that, I just want to talk about why I haven't been uploading videos on the channel. So I've tried a few times to make this video, but I had a few problems with making those videos. For example, the camera was overheating. I accidentally deleted the videos or the footage of the videos, and I accidentally put the camera in the wrong mode. You can like choose what settings you want the camera to be in, and it was basically in like a time-lapse mode in one of the times that I tried to film this video. But this year I want to try and at least get one video a month out. That's still not a lot, but the thing is I have a busy schedule, so I don't have a lot of time to film these videos, so I'll try to get at least one video a month. I also want to acknowledge that I am wearing full gear in this video, because I know it's not safe to ride around with just like boots and a chest protector with a helmet. So I'm wearing full gear, but it's like hand-me-down gear, so I have bought gear that will be here soon, sometime. So in the next video I will be wearing that gear, and also gloves. The thing is I just have to get used to the gloves, and I decided, because I'm filming and want to try and get full potential out of this bike, and you know, not worry about too much about how it feels to shift or brake, because things like dirt bike boots and also the gloves, when you start to wear them, it kind of feels weird to ride a dirt bike. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, in the next video I'll also be wearing gloves and full gear on, and it will be matching gear, so I hope it will actually look sick. And then also one last thing before I talk about my bike, I just want to say that I am excited about the next video idea and what it will be about. All I'm going to say is that I'm going to try to make it more cinematic style, and it's gonna be something different. For Christmas I got like different camera mounts that I can mount on the bike, or tripod that I can put on the ground. So I'll try and make something different and something a bit more creative, and it's actually an idea that I've wanted to do for a long time, and now it's something that is finally possible. Just to let you guys know, because I'm very excited for it. I don't want to give much away. Okay, so my Husqvarna Te 125, hopefully it stands still and doesn't fall that way. How did I get this bike? So about a year and a half ago I said to my dad that I needed a bigger bike, because I was riding a CRF 125, which is still like a small bike. It's comparable to an 85 two-stroke. It's kind of around the same size, so it's tinier than this bike, and it wasn't easy to ride that bike. And with the idea of getting a new bike, I decided that I wanted to explore enduro and how that works. We looked at some KTMs and Husqvarna, for example a 250 Freeride KTM or the KTM and Husqvarna 150s Enduro models. And there was also this 125. So the thing with the KTM Freeride 250s is that we were scared that it would be too much power and too much torque for me to handle, because those are 250cc bikes. But they are detuned, and it was a serious consideration of getting one of those. But we just weren't sure, and people said that we shouldn't get that bike as a first big bike, and also a first two-stroke bike. The thing about the Husqvarna and KTM 150s are that they are very desirable, so their price is a lot higher than these bikes, for example, and they seem kind of expensive for us, and we decided, or this 125 Husqvarna Te 125 was for sale, so we decided to get it. It was a very exciting experience to finally get a bigger bike and to a full-sized dirt bike, which was very exciting, fun, and I would definitely remember that moment forever. So I was just happy to get a bike. This bike was also in a bit of a rougher condition than most 150s that were available, or even the free rides. As you guys can see, it has a few scratches on like the tank and here on the side. It is also dirty at the moment. It was something to get used to this bike and how its power delivery works and everything like that, the power band, and even like the clutch, because I wasn't used to this hydraulic clutch that's on the bike currently, or which is on most or all the modern Husqvarna, KTM and Gas has these clutches. I think that it is an important thing to at least get to ride, or for at least a while to ride 125 two strokes, because it learns you to keep the power in the power band and to have that extra level of control over the bike, because if you give it a little bit too much, it's going to spin. If you don't give it enough, then the bike is just not going to have the power. You're going to go slow or even stall the bike. Also for enduro, you have to learn to keep the engine of the bike alive, because you have to like use the clutch and throttle to give it a certain amount of RPMs so that it doesn't stall. And I think I don't know about the 150s, but especially these 125s, if you want to like crawl it, you have to keep the power at a certain level so that it doesn't stall. But I think we should continue on riding. The reason why I stopped is because it's difficult to talk with the drowning of the bike, and riding, it's difficult to talk and for you guys to hear what I'm saying. I try to do my best, and sometimes I'll stop, sometimes I'll ride, and when I ride, I'm not saying a lot of things because it's difficult to hear it from the video, and the camera struggles to pick up my voice. I probably need a microphone, but I don't know if this GoPro 11 mini supports it, so for now it's what it is. But let's continue. I think I'll go a bit up into the mountains where it's a bit cooler, and also it's a different scene. But as I'm going up, because I have to concentrate, and again the camera struggles to pick up the audio, so when I have to rev out the bike a bit more, like this loud background sound that you hear behind you, and the camera struggles to pick up voices with it. Let's continue, and if I have something to say, I'll say it. There is this like mud strip that I want to go through later in the video, or closer to the end of the video, when I'm back from there in the mountains. Then I'll take this bike through it, and just to make the video a bit more exciting. But I wanted to keep this bike clean, or clean-ish, before I do this. So I haven't, or actually I have gone through, but I had to clean the bike or wash the bike again, because I don't want the bike to be too dirty. But let's go. It's gonna be a bit overgrown as we go up this road through the mountain. I'll see if I put it in the video, but back there you saw that the bike didn't have a lot of power, because I was in a higher gear as I was climbing the hill, or it's not even that steep of a hill, but I was going upwards. And it was in high gear, so I slapped the clutch a bit so that I could get that power back, just for a bit of a kick. I don't think it's the best idea on a like motocross bike like a Yamaha or a Honda or something like that to slap the clutch, but these are enduro bikes, so they have an hydraulic clutch that is also built for enduro. I don't know specifically what is different, but they are made to last longer, and for you to like slap the clutch a bit for when you're lugging, especially on those big 300s. You kind of want to lug the bike or ride outside of the power band in a higher gear to not lose traction, and so they slip the clutch to continue to have that power but also not lose traction. Okay, so let's continue on forwards. So I'm going to continue upwards. It's going to get a lot rockier and steeper and rockier, and I'll probably not say much, but let's go. I don't know if you guys saw that on the camera, but it got a bit sketchy there at some moments. Here we are, a bit higher up in the mountain. This is probably like 1/3 of the way to the top, but I'm not going to go any further. I just wanted to come to this time where it's a bit cooler. Here is shade, so this ride is pretty washed out, so let's see if I can crawl up it. So I did go up a bit further because there were people down there and I don't want to disturb them with my recording of me recording and talking. So I've just turned the bike around. Now I'm going to go down and find a different place. I don't know why my front brake feels so spongy. Like you have to press it in very hard before the bike stops. But let's go. So I'm going to go down. I'll do a bump start here in front because I'm too lazy to kickstart. So hopefully I don't fall or pick up too much speed and then fall somewhere down there. That would be kind of funny though. Second gear bump start incoming. Probably shouldn't go too fast. So I decided let's have a nice view while we talk about this bike. But anyways, finally let's get to the price of this bike, or what I like about this bike. First of all, I like the clutch very much. This hydraulic clutch is very nice because, like you guys saw, when I went up that hill I was riding the clutch kind of a lot, and I hope it doesn't let some of you cringe or think it's a bad thing, but to get my momentum to go on a hill, I kind of have to use the clutch and rev the bike out to get speed and go again. And I like the clutch of this bike very much. It's easy to use. Then what I also like about this bike is this model year Husqvarna specifically, or the TE Husqvarna of this year specifically. I think it's kind of a unique bike because it's not like you see a 2014 model year, which was the only one that came with this headlight, which is actually just a Usaberg headlight from 2013, but this was the only bike to have that headlight. I also like the two-stroke characteristics of this bike. So this is still a carbureted 125 two-stroke. It still just has kickstart. That authentic old school two-stroke experience is basically what you get with this bike. Still a bit, I don't know, a bit not so responsive like more modern bikes, and it has that iconic 125 scream. the 125 is the best sounding two-stroke bike that you can get. The bigger bikes is a bit tin canny, for example the 300, and the 85 is like very high pitch, but at the end of the day it's just a preference. I just love the experience of this bike because you get on it, you don't have a lot of power. As you get higher in the RPMs, then all of a sudden it kicks out, or the rear wheel kicks out, you kick into the power band and the bike just wants to go. It doesn't have a lot of power, or for most bikes. I think this bike, a Husqvarna Te 125, which is basically the same bike as this, tested 38 horsepower, or I saw a video of one that tested for 38 horsepower. So I think this bike is probably also around 35 to 38 horsepower. But that feeling of the power band just suddenly kick in. This bike is never boring to ride. This is not just a boring bike to ride. It is an experience. When you're riding in the power band, you have to definitely pay attention. Negatives of this bike, like I have said before, the power band of this bike, or where the lack of power in the bottom end of the engine, or the bottom end of the power band, the lack of power. So you have to either clutch control or just shift down. This bike isn't easy to just cruise around, especially when it comes to going up or down. Down is easy, it's very easy, but up hills, like when I came up here, I revved it out to the top of first gear, and then when I got to the hill goes up and then flat and then up again. So at that second part I had to shift to second and open that throttle pretty much to give it enough power to get up the hill. And that's what makes it so fun, because if you want to go fast and like okay, maybe not go fast, but if you want to like properly ride the thing and just like Carson Brown style bend the throttle type thing, then this bike is. One final thing that I want to talk about that isn't so good about this bike is the fact that it's starting to show a lot of wear, and things are starting to break. For example, this clutch, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like oil residue and oil coming out of it. I probably should have tried like that, but I wanted to get this video out, and it's not like I feel a performance loss or a clutch that slips too easily or a funny clutch, I don't know. And then, like I said, the front brake feels a bit spongy today. I think, back to this clutch, I think it's because last weekend or a weekend a bit ago, I went riding with a friend and we rode on a slippery road, and I tried to showboat a bit by like drifting or kicking out the back end when going around a corner, and I did it, but the bike fully lost control, slammed on its side, fell, picked it up, fell again. So I don't know if maybe one of those hits had an impact on the seals. I wouldn't think so, but that's all that I can think of. While I go down this hill or this mountain, I'll explain what this bike is about, and you know, what I think its purpose is and what it's good at and what it's bad at. I haven't started this bike on camera yet, so let me do that real quick. You kind of have to give it a bit of throttle, otherwise it doesn't want to start. But let's go. This is kind of a sketchy downhill path because of all of these little rocks. So I think as a farm bike and for my purpose, this is probably the best bike that I could have gotten as my first big bike. Just let me go down here. Okay. Because it's a fun, it's a bit versatile, so yes, you can do a bit of enduro, but also a bit of more high speed. Almost fell over that rock. So, like I said, it's a perfect size for when riding on the farm, because sometimes in tighter places, smaller places, place with more corners and turns and things, this bike works pretty well for. So it is the next day. The camera battery died, or the camera battery went flat and the camera died, so I had to charge it last night. So this is the next day. I just want to end off this video instead of just ending it there. Let's get riding and then I'll finish off this video. I still want to go through that mud, not really a bog, not a mud bog, but that like strip of mud. I want to go through it. Through the mud strip or a mud bog, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to expect, but I don't think it will be that bad. type of riding this bike is very fun. I think I'm going to end this video here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, bye guys.